The laughter was low at first, soft as a blade sliding through silk, then sharper, a rustle of snickers, a crackle of cruelty. Like wolves sensing weakness. In the visitor center of Fort Bringery's military base, a woman sat alone, still, silent. Ancient in a way no years could measure. Her hands gripped the hem of a weather-beaten green jacket. It hung from her shoulders like a forgotten flag, tattered and sun-bleached, the kind of relic no one dared wear unless they'd earned it in blood. But the room didn't see that. Not yet. A teenage recruit, gleaming in crisp new blues, nudged his buddy and grinned. Bet she fished that out of a dumpster behind a thrift store. Their laughter was too loud, too sure of itself. The kind that only exists when ignorance has company. She didn't flinch. She didn't need to, because someone else did. Across the room, a decorated general froze mid-stride. His eyes locked onto the patch on her sleeve. His breath caught sharp, guttural, instinctive. Something inside him twisted. And in that moment, the room shifted. Her name was Elise Rowan, 70, gray-haired, alone, invisible, until now. The outside world saw a woman well past her prime. Just another quiet presence on the 9:45 a.m. bus every Saturday morning. A routine ghost, haunting the edges of a base she no longer had clearance to enter. She never spoke, never complained, just waited week after week with that same jacket, draped over her shoulders like a secret only the dead understood. No one knew that jacket had been through war, through fire, through betrayal. Its seams were frayed, buttons long gone. But one thing remained, the patch. A falcon mid-dive, claws clutching lightning, wings sharp as blades. Beneath it, 3 letters dulled with time, OSR. Most overlooked it, but not all. And not him. Back in the waiting room, the recruits still joked, still jeered. Until one of them, Denton, all bravado and buzz cut, strutted over, chest puffed with bravado. "Ma'am," he said with mock politeness, "this area's for military families and personnel." Elise didn't move. Denton leaned in, smirking. That jacket wouldn't pass inspection in a soup line. Laughter flared behind him, cheap, hollow, cruel. But she remained still, as if carved from stone. Then dash boots. A single pair of polished combat boots stopped beside her chair. The general had crossed the room. He didn't look at Denton, didn't even acknowledge the recruits. His gaze was pinned to the patch. "Where did you get that?" he asked, his voice a blade drawn from memory. Denton blinked. "What, sir?" "That patch." There was something in the general's voice now no longer stern, but reverent, haunted. The air collapsed into silence. Elise raised her head, slowly, like a curtain lifting in a theater of ghosts. Their eyes met. "You were OSR?" The general whispered. She nodded once. "Just once," she said. A whisper. A detonation. And the general, this man whose chest was draped in medals, who had walked through fire and thunder, took a step back, because what stood before him wasn't a forgotten woman. It was history. It was legend. It was a soldier who had died and come back invisible. "Everyone out," he said. His voice didn't rise. It didn't need to. The recruits scattered, confused, pale. Denton hesitated until the general's eyes landed on him. Now, seconds later, the room was empty. Except for Elise. And the man who remembered her ghost. He sat beside her, not as a superior, but as a man in the presence of something sacred. "They told us Osser was lost," he said, the words cracking under their own. "Wait. 79, deep op, silent raptor. Intel said everyone died." Elise stared ahead. "We weren't lost," she said. "We were buried." She told him, slowly, softly, and every word stripped away years of silence like bark from a tree. She had gone behind enemy lines with no backup. She'd delivered coordinates that ended a siege and saved thousands. She had been captured, tortured, forgotten, 14 months in a camp so black the Pentagon erased it from maps, and when she came home, no parades, no medals, no record she'd even existed. Her name had been scrubbed for national security. The jacket was all she had left. The general's throat tightened. His eyes burned. A man with 29 confirmed missions and 4 deployments sat trembling beside a woman whose service they erased like a typo in a classified file. "Why didn't you come forward?" he asked. "I did," she said. "Once," she smiled faintly. "No one listened. And then I stopped trying." He stood, and with a spine forged in war, saluted her. It wasn't protocol. It was penance. "You were a ghost in our files," he said. "But you're a giant in our history." The next Saturday, Elise returned. But the world had changed. No whispers, no laughter. Waiting for her at the visitor center entrance was a full line of recruits, standing at attention. At the center was Denton, no longer smirking. His eyes glassed. With emotion, bouquet in one hand, a folded flag in the other. His voice cracked. "We didn't know," he said. "We're sorry." Behind him, mounted on the wall, was a framed photograph of a younger Elise in full gear. Hair tucked beneath a battered helmet. Eyes defiant. Beneath the photo, the plaque read, "Elise Rowan, Operation Silent Raptor Service Without Recognition. Valor Beyond Record." She looked up at it, then at them. Her smile was small, but it reached the deepest places in the room, because some heroes wear medals, others wear silence. Some carry legacies in books. Elise Rowan carried hers in torn cloth, invisible scars, and a memory that refused to die. The world had tried to forget her, but the fire never forgot, and now neither would they.